Yeah, you don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. Now I'm sipping on this whiskey, got one chance and it's risky, so you can't play around. And I got my team behind me like a background. I don't never back down, picking up the slack now. Now I'm focused, keep on grinding for my stacks now. I'm feeling lost in this ocean, where's a lighthouse? I keep on swinging for the fence and I ain't strike out. And yeah, that's how I'm feeling, yeah, that's how I'm feeling now. We're not here for a long time, yeah. It's 9 to 5, it's a long grind, yeah. A lot of to success, it's a long climb, yeah. Now I'm sitting here making up for time, yeah. Man, I took so many losses that I lost count. I didn't know what I was made of, but I found out. And this life will blindside, you better look out. These haters wanna see you fall and get you took out, yeah. Cause I fell on my face, and this life is a race. I keep on checking my place. Now I'm riding for my team, you can tell by my plates. And this life just threw a hook, it caught me right in the face. But I'm getting back up, I'll do whatever it takes. I'll climb a couple of mountains, I'll swim a couple of lakes. Don't got time for the bitching, don't got time for complaints. Now you going through some shit, now tell me how does it taste? You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. Now I'm living with my choices, I just own my mistakes. Cause I'm screaming fucking hand down, I ain't searching for breaks. But I'm barely treading water and this life is the lake. Now the pressure keeps on building as I'm raising the stakes. I ain't looking for advice, now I'm looking for space. Now I'm dealing with these losses, but I know I hate the taste. Now I'm sitting back, I'm thinking as I smoke it to the face. Now it's time for these apologies, the time is too late. So bygones be bygones, I'm on business with a tie on. So fuck a shoulder to cry on, I'ma get a hopper like Zion. Let's raise a glass, I'll toast that. Reminisce, we roast that. How I wrote them and ain't wrote back. I'm never flimsy, the goat's back. So I don't feel bad, no not at all. When a lot of years, write a lot of calls, a lot of birthdays without a call. Ain't got time for that, so fuck a fraud. You ain't there for me, I ain't there for you. You won't bleed for me, I won't bleed for you. All the hard times I lived through, keep moving, gotta get through. I got goals and cash I gotta get to, all these memories that I flipped through. If you can't relate, then don't judge. I'll stand my ground, I won't budge. I'm sitting back cause I burn buds, I swear to God this life's good. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been through. You don't know all the shit that I've been through, all the pain and the struggle that I lived through. Now I'm rolling up these papers that I smoke through, thinking about all the shit that I've been.
J Squad.
And be so goddamn rich.
I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, let's go.
Be fucking rich. I want my fucking money. Griffin, I want my fucking money. Yo, motherfucker. Shit, we're gonna be so fucking rich. want my fucking money.
You're an original,
Hey,
aren't you?
yelling,
Cowboy.
give me the fucking money. Get the goddamn money printer out.
Great. Bounty letter.
We're gonna be so fucking rich. Get the goddamn money printer out.
I want to be clear, I do not respect the SEC.
We made the decision in the morning to limit the buying of about 13 securities on our platform. So we're really in unprecedented times. In order to protect the firm, we had to limit buying.
That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel, we're all running large teams of people that are engaged in fundamental research, trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued.
Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. He's been charged by US courts and the SEC with money laundering, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and securities fraud for the collapse of FTX. The former chairman of NASDAQ, Bernie Madoff, built the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Over 4 decades, he faked records of annual gains to investors who thought he was investing their funds, when in fact, he was just using new investor capital to pay off older investors.
But the synthetic shorting and naked shorting, which is illegal, market maker can execute naked shorts insofar as they're facilitating a trade. The regulators are looking at that now as to whether or not there was this naked shorting by the market makers on behalf of the hedge funds in order to facilitate the shorts. And I think they're going to uncover that there were some issues there. But the penalty for naked shorting is really not significant enough to stop it. Citadel and Goldman and all of the players get fined constantly for doing this.
Hedge funds and other Wall Street firms have teams of analysts working together to compile research and analyze shares of companies. Individual investors do not have those resources.
I basically would like to ask the SEC why they didn't act on the morning of January 28th, because I was so scared. I can't tell you how scared I was. I was so scared. I can't tell you how scared I was.
Well, Thomas, what were you scared about? What does failure look like? You said we came close to breaking. What were you scared of?
I was scared of a domino bankruptcy. I tell you, the rules require the long brokers to go into the market and buy the shares at whatever price. So that drove the shares up to $480, and then suddenly it didn't go further, but it could have gone further.
So buying and selling those 200 shares would make the market maker $1. But as millions of shares are traded, the profits from the spread add up. In 2020, these brokerages collected almost $2.6 billion in payments for stock and option orders.
These brokers, including Interactive Brokers and Robinhood, that generate revenue from selling the order flow to market makers.
Business has always been done like this on Wall Street for over 100 years.
Our orders compete against each other to get the best prices. But if the order instead is routed to a wholesaler that has agreed to pay for it, the order is not going to an exchange and is not necessarily receiving the benefit of that broader competition.
As you mentioned about commission or zero commission does not mean it's free. It does have some cost inside. Some brokers have payment for order flow.
Disclosure alone, by enhancing the disclosure around payment for order flow, really will address it. United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, all have banned payment for order flow. I know we have different markets, different systems. We even have letters that we've gotten over the years
dating back over the last 20 years articulating why it's not good for our system. So I really ask staff to consider that, but also to consider it only in the context of the entire market structure.
On January 28th, our daily deposit requirement was 10 times more than on January 25th. As a result, Robinhood Securities imposed temporary trading restrictions on certain securities. Robinhood Securities put the restrictions in place in an effort to meet increased regulatory deposit requirements.
The decision to restrict trading really was internal to Robinhood. We did not have discussions about that.
Like GameStop, AMC, all these meme stocks have brought naked short selling really to the forefront of the market's interest. This thing is going on for a very long time in the small cap market and is very much a problem.
Has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information you received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay, thank you.
Those are fully collateralized tokens.
That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities.
The order is not going to an exchange and is not necessarily receiving the benefit of that broader competition.
You guys pumped yet? You pumped yet, or you getting scared? We got a bunch of paper hand Portnoys. We got some paper-handed bitches, or we got some diamond-handed, diamond balls, diamond titty motherfuckers in here. Nope. Sorry, honey. No Toka Hospital. My little one's asking for more games. As if she doesn't have 100 already. Or a few hundred, let's put it that way. Let me switch this screen up here so we can get a little bit better. A little bit more acquainted. There we go. There we go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Boss Blunt's Think Tank. I'm Boss Blunts, the Butcher of Wall Street. And we are going to see some gap fills to the upside here on AMC and GameStop. I think it's pretty obvious what's going on here to most people that are well acquainted with these stocks. So I was just sitting pretty waiting for this chart to start looking back towards filling the gap to the upside from where it broke out under what we're currently looking at. I'll show you yesterday's trajectory. And this is yesterday. We drew these lines here in about the first 2 hours of the trading session between this pre-market wick and this pre-market, market open wick about 30 to 45 minutes into the session. And we did the same thing here on top with these two. This one here about an hour and a half into it. As you can see, GameStop, AMC with the same basic charts. Ignore the yellow line for now. That's our cock and balls formation. That's the brand new technical analysis that we just came out with yesterday. But all jokes aside, check this out. So this is the formation we drew yesterday. It broke above on the tweet from Roaring Kitty, and as you can see here in the aftermarket, was shorted back down below, traded beneath the session, beneath the actual pattern lines, and the rays that I drew yesterday extend upwards, right? And then what happens to the stock? Broke beneath, comes right back up, starts to use that as a support, breaks beneath, comes right back into this same lane, and currently had pretty much filled the entire pennant here in the pre-market session and continue to do the same thing and used it as support over and over and over again here until the shorting was just so astronomical here. In my honest opinion, there's no way in hell that this is organic selling. We're looking at it here on the 15-minute time frame. This is what we're seeing here, a massive amount of naked shorting to bring the stock down as far as possible. So that's what we're looking at there. And as you can see, some incredibly large red Heikin-Ashi there, we'll call them candles. And on the 15-minute time frame, it held that same pattern till here. And now it is turned around for the last 15, 30, 1 hour, 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, and is now looking to re-enter that zone until I'll show you guys this. Until the very moment that my stream began here, and we'll take a quick peek at what happened the moment that my stream began on the upward trend on the 1 minute session. As you can see here in the 1 minute session, we zoomed in a little bit starting at around 10:45. We have a continuation of higher highs and higher lows. And the moment that my stream began, we started to see this downward push. And that is why sometimes we do what we call on this channel opposite day or opposite hour. Gasta GM, whatever your name is, you're going to need to cool it and have some patience, or the mods are going to knock you back a few licks here. Because, my friend, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and you don't know what I know. And if you can have some patience and an open mind, we could actually explain that without you crying and bitching and moaning about it the whole time. If you want to be a paper-handed bitch, go ahead and do so. Sell whatever you'd like and be on your way. Meanwhile, the rest of us will be here doing what we do, and we'll continue our path and our rocket ship to the moon. Now, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was GameStop. Neither was AMC. But as soon as we started this live stream, this is what began right here. Big red candles straight to the downside. And you can see back on the 15-minute session, it is going to want to fill this gap straight up to the upside. Again, ignore the yellow lines for now. We are looking at the white lines at the moment. And as you can see, the way that it wants to trend upwards, this pennant gets larger and larger and moves to the upside there. Now, that doesn't mean that's the only thing it's going to follow naturally, but it can be extended even further back, all the way here, several days back, as can this other white one, and we'll do that a little bit later. But as you look here, this is the good old, on the 30-minute chart, if you zoom out here, all the way back to May 31st, the beginning of the FTD super cycle, and the swap cycle that began the last time Roaring Kitty exercised his calls. We have the big old cock and balls pattern. And with that, it leads to an erection and spewing out the top. But I'll get that off my screen because that's just obviously a joke. We were just dicking around yesterday, having a good old time. But if you look on the multi-day chart here, we can actually adjust this here. Actually, I don't want to remove them because I do like the way that it takes the trend from yesterday. But I could always pop them back in, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to start off with just a little bit of adjustments here on the lower side of the trend. Actually, I'm going to remove them entirely first of all. You can zoom in here on the 30-minute chart. I'll explain the super cycle. I'll explain the failures to deliver. And then we can take it from there before we get too technical. But what we saw here today, when I opened up the market and I saw this, and I said, nope, this right here, this right here is not organic, and it's going to reverse. You can see the giant wicks on the top of every single candle to the green side. That is not a great sign. So immediately after the first 17 minutes, it's good to see people piling into the stocks. But that doesn't mean that it's only going to go up. Stocks go up, they go down, they go sideways, they make patterns, they make trends, they get manipulated, and that failures to deliver, swap cycles, gamma ramps occur, and that's what we're looking at here. That's the beginnings of this. So I saw the beginnings of this in the shorting. I said they're going to short this as much as possible. They absolutely want everyone to wonder why it's going down. Is it because Roaring Kitty, exercised or sold his call contracts, which If you do the math, if you understand what premiums are and the way cost basis is, you wouldn't be saying that he sold his call contracts and bought shares. And the reason I know this is because if he would have sold his call contracts and bought shares, his average price would be significantly higher than $23 and change. His average price would be much, much higher. Not to mention, he would have paid an additional $20 million more in capital gains taxes had he sold off simply to buy back the shares at a higher share price. The whole point of contracts is to be able to lock in the price you pay when the stock price, at least for options, calls, to be able to lock in the price that you're paying to buy them when the stock price exceeds that price. So a lot of people out there are saying that he sold all his contracts and he bought shares. Honestly, I can understand why some people would be confused about that. But if you really dig deep, as we've done on this channel, and you do the math, you'd realize that he 100% exercised a third of his contracts after selling 2/3 of his contracts. We put out the post on Superstonk and X yesterday. It's got nearly 1 million views across the platforms, and people now are freaking out because the stocks didn't moon first thing in the morning. That's not the way this shit works. That's not the way this shit works. I don't understand why people continue to think that a gamma ramp or a gamma squeeze or delta hedging is going to send things straight to the fucking moon every time. It's trends, upwards and downwards trends. The requirement for failures to deliver to be closed out today is massive. There are over 3.2 million failures to deliver on from failures to deliver due today that need to be returned because of the T+35 cycle on Gamestop alone. On top of that, there are 4,001,000 shares that need to be delivered by the people who sold covered calls on GameStop, who will be assigned a portion of those in a lottery system and like pull a name out of a hat system. Some of them will get assigned and they'll have to deliver the shares, 100 shares for every call that they sold. And then naked calls, most of which are coming from institutional investors and market makers that sell the naked calls. They then also have to deliver. It's not like they can just choose not to do so. They can fail to deliver, yes. And if they fail to deliver, that leads to another T+35 cycle. And that's what we're seeing now. What we're seeing now is that exact same cycle of T+35 beginning again. We saw it happen a month ago when the stock, the first time that Roaring Kitty exercised, the stock went up to $80 a share based off that FTD cycle when he exercised, and they failed to deliver. So today, they're probably going to close out the 3 million or 3.2 million failures to deliver that are due to the T+35 cycle ending today. And they are going to kick the can on the 4 million shares that they need to deliver to Roaring Kitty. He's got his shares in his account. They're there. But they're just ones and zeros, letters and numbers on a page. If he sells them, theoretically, if he sells them, he makes money. So it doesn't matter if they fail to deliver on them. They still act as perfectly good shares. It doesn't matter if they're synthetic shares or real shares. Yet. Remember this. Yet is the key word. So they're currently closing out a large portion of swaps on AMC and GameStop that have to be rolled. These are ISDA contracts, and they will be rolled. And the same thing is happening with the failures to deliver that are due today. Those are also being turned over. That's why when you look at the chart, you see things like this, large, long sections of buying trends, and then new shorts being taken out. Large, huge amounts of buying pressure here, a little bit of cooling off to keep things from pumping the IV too much. Big increase here, letting the buy pressure through, selling calls, making premium, and then new shorts being taken out Massive, massive crush of implied volatility on options contracts, scaring people out of their options, scaring people out of their shares, and they're buying them back. This is a psychological warfare that people need to remember is always occurring on the markets. The institutions are professionals at this. This is what they do. Then here you've got some more organic pressure beginning now. They are starting to slowly trickle in their buys so that they can try to pick up shares from all of the people that sold here. And there are still, which in my opinion is a small minority. And here now they are starting to push through their own buying pressure in order to close out the failures to deliver. And it's not endless fake money. Nothing's endless. Let me get that straight. They make, over 6 months, AMC and GameStop shorts made around $500 million. And then in one day, they lost $2 billion. So over the 6 months and one day, let's put it that way, before when the stock ran to 80, they're basically down 1.5 billion combined. And then they shorted some more. They made a few $100 million, or $100 million or two over the next 30 days, and the next cycle was due. GameStop ran up to $60 again. Then they lost $500,000, and so they ended up being down $300 million over the next month after that. Now what we're seeing here is the beginnings of the next cycle. And as you can see here on the 15-minute chart, it's going to fill the gap. It's going to fill the gap because when you really zoom out, here we go. Here's what we see. This was the last one starting way back at $13. Let's go back here. At $13 a share, I came out and told you guys, yeah, we're going to 30 on the overnight session. It was at $10.70. This was the first one. The exercising was way back here under $10. The gamma ramp began, the shorting pressure, and then the closeout. The delivery of the failures to deliver, the deliver of the can that was kicked, shooting it up to 1745. Then the consolidation period here. I saw this movement very clearly when we had this going on here. And then I said, yep, you know what, guys? We are going. GameStop is going to $30. At the time, the stock went from 10 to 18. I said 18. The next stop is $30. What happened? It consolidated into the following day, and in the overnight session, in the pre-market session, what happened? $38.16. Closed out the day around 30. And said, we're going up again. We're going to gap up again. What happened? Yep, they had to close out more failures to deliver more shares that were exercised by Roaring Kitty and others, and $80 was reality in the pre-market session. And of course, during the day, they try to crush the implied volatility, and brings it down. They try to bring things back under control because $80 is a do or die number for them. They shorted it back down over a period of 1, 2, 3, 4 days, 5 days, down to 6 days. Now, well, it was already there. 5 days down to 1894, trended sideways. One final push down to 1770. They pushed it down real hard, much like what you're seeing right now. Right now, what you're seeing on $28 right now is the dip before the rip. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is basically a legally required disclaimer. I hate it because it detracts from the content, but it's something that has to be said. You're responsible for your own money. Hire a financial advisor if you need one, because I am not that financial advisor for you. But in my opinion, this is the dip before the rip that we're seeing right fucking now. A big push to the downside. A little bit of consolidation. And what do we have here? We have massive movements in the pre-market from 1770 up to $26. And that's what we saw there. More failures to deliver being returned at the end of May 28th. Again, more shorting throughout the following day. slowly climbing, higher highs, higher lows. And again, always the pre-market, always the after hours, always the overnight session. Never during the day will you see these kinds of jumps, because they don't want you guys to further exacerbate the problem by buying in the middle of a run-up. That will destroy them. So in the pre-market at 5 a.m., look at what happened. 5 a.m., $22. Boom, 47.50, right? 47.50. And then again, boom, during the day, they start to short, overnight session, next day, short, overnight session. So that's 2 days of shorting and selling off there from the shorts. Let's call them shorts because it could be hedge funds. It's going to be hedge funds and family offices and market makers all combined, right? And what do we have? Shorting, consolidation, and then some upward gamma ramp movement here. Boom. I recognize this. I said, we're going up. And what happened the next day? Push. $45. This was on a Friday, I believe, 6.6. I said, we're going higher. I bought in heavily with contracts. I think a lot of people did. And what happened next? Pre-market. Again, 67.50. Boom. We're looking at a close of around $43. Pre-market up to 67.50 as the rockets engaged. And then shorting, opened up around 48 again, because they did not want you to be able to take advantage of selling your call contracts for a premium, putting all those calls between 48 and 67 in the money, shorting, scaring the piss out of you. And what happened again in the after hours? 27.72 low, $64 high. Shorting, push down, consolidation. Again, $24 low, $45 high. Closing out failures to deliver, rolling contracts, rolling swaps. Again, and then some upward pressure, downward pressure, consolidating, filling that gap. Here we go again. And you can see the pattern. If you really think about it, it does change and it does vary slightly. But when you start to understand what's happening and you really understand that there are millions of failures to deliver due today and next week, all of next week, there are millions of failures to deliver due. Then Roaring Kitties, from the last cycle of Roaring Kitties exercise. And then Roaring Kitty just exercised again yesterday. 40,000 or so call contracts, as we saw. We are in the consolidation phase here again with higher, not in the consolidation phase. I put it this is beyond the consolidation phase now. This is in the beginnings of the gamma ramp phase, in my opinion. So let's go back here. See, this was here like the consolidation and the shorting phase. This was the beginnings of the gamma ramp, and this was the rocket. And in my opinion, that's what we're seeing here. Got the shorting section, the beginnings of a ramp, the consolidation, and now we are entering into the gamma ramp again. So I don't suspect the stock goes to the moon during the market hours. It's not going to fly back up to 60. I don't think it's going to happen before 3 p.m. Okay, we're talking this, I believe, something that's going to happen not even in the after hours. It might be in the after hours today, but in the overnight session when everyone's asleep, 5 in the morning on Monday, 2 in the morning on Monday, before the pre-market even opens. And then if not, then Tuesday and so on. Because Monday, we have a significant amount of pressure on these guys because the GameStop shareholders meeting, and look, we have gapped. Look at it. We gapped up just as fucking told you. Just as I fucking told you. It filled the gap from earlier fucking today, from the $30.66 max high that it fell, got crushed down, opened at $29, $30.66 high, got crushed all morning, and now, higher highs, higher lows, look at her go, and that's what we're doing. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, but still climbing the ladder, climbing the stair steps. We want it to stair step upwards, okay? Somebody just brought this up. This isn't checkers. This is not checkers. This is fucking Chinese checkers. This is chess. This is a lot of pieces moving in a lot of different directions, all at the same time. This isn't just, I jump you, forward or on an angle, and that's it. No, these pieces move in a dynamic way. Left, right, up, down, 1 space, 5 space, 2 spaces, 5 spaces, 10 spaces. This is the way that markets work, especially when they're manipulated by high-frequency trading algorithms. 1 second, need some coffee. Yeah. So first we had a support of $10. And then we had a support of like $18. And then we had a support of $24. And then we had a support of $28. And then we had, for a while there, a support of like $34. And then we had the offering of shares from GameStop, right? 2 offerings. So now the support is back around $28. It filled the gap. It's going to go down, and then it's going to go up a little bit higher, and then it's going to go down a little bit, then it's going to go up a little bit higher, and it's going to end the day probably somewhere around $29, $29.90. But that may change if they still have a lot of shares to deliver for, if they don't plan on failing to deliver for the Roaring Kitty and for the T plus 35 super cycle. T plus 35 FTD cycle that's due, and for the 3-year, 2-year, and 1-year swap super cycles. Okay, because look at the month. The month is June of 2024. You know, you guys remember in June of 2021, things were absolutely wild with AMC and GameStop and such. Anthony, no, that's not what I said at all. You're welcome to your opinion, but I think you couldn't be more wrong. All right. There's something called married calls, right? And a market maker, they will take someone buying calls and they will marry them with somebody selling calls. And that is a married call. And they do that because if that call that was purchased is exercised, then that covered call that was sold can be the one that has to deliver those shares. That is why selling covered calls on AMC and GameStop, while it may seem lucrative in the short term, in reality, it is a really bad idea in my non-financial advisor opinion. It is a terrible fucking idea. It is an easy way to lose hundreds, if not thousands, of shares that you spent your hard-earned money on. So, let's take a look here at what's popping with Amy and Jimmy. Jimmy has now gone green. Let me sort this by name. Well, wrong one. There it is. Amy has currently, as you can see here, look at the trends from yesterday. Look at it. This is where it was yesterday. See the trend that we showed you earlier on GameStop. AMC broke down beneath it, broke above it, exactly the same as GameStop, was pushed down exactly the same as GameStop. Hold on. There you go. It's pushed down in the exact same fashion. But has not yet recovered into the zone where it likely should be trading. There is a huge amount of suppression in these stocks. Today is Friday. They will desperately try to keep GameStop under $30 and AMC under $5 for the close. That doesn't guarantee it can happen. If they let them run, if they have to buy more shares, it will be in the last 15 to 25 minutes of the market because they do not want people to buy into them, and they do not want these to be in the money, because if the $5 strike ends on a Friday in the money for AMC and the $30 strike ends in the money on GameStop, then both of those will bring tens of thousands of additional call contracts in the money, for which the market maker may have to hedge or deliver shares. Because people have, you should check with your broker, but the NASDAQ rules state that retail investors have until 5:30 p.m. Eastern time to exercise call contracts. Markets close at 4 p.m. Eastern. Retail has until 5:30 p.m. Eastern to exercise call contracts that are in the money. Of course, accounting for the fact that you paid premium, which needs to be calculated in your average share price and in whether or not it's worth exercising the call contracts. If you don't understand what I'm saying, you should do some more homework on it. But basically what it means is that you need to look at how much you paid for the contract, how much it's going to cost you for the 100 shares, and add them together to figure out how much you're going to pay per share. For example, on GameStop, if you have a $20 call like Roaring Kitty, and you paid around $500 for the call contract, you have to then pay $2,000 to get those 100 shares at $20 a share. Then you have to factor in the $500 premium. So that's $2,500. When you account for the fact that Roaring Kitty already had 5 million shares in his account at an average price of around $20, $21, and then he got 4 million more, that's less than 50% more shares. And then you add up the basis, cost basis total with the premium as well as the $20 per share, and that gives you, when you average it in with his current existing holdings of the 5 million shares he previously had and the 4 million shares he now has, is 100% proof that he exercised around 40,000 call contracts to get those 4 million shares delivered. This is the Infinity Gauntlet. This is the Naked Wolverine. That is the purposes behind it. They're not the only market maker, and any market maker can sell calls, but Wolverine is one of the designated market makers for GameStop. But that is what he has done to get from $35 million to $300 million in value. From $10.48, ramp, failing to deliver, consolidation, rockets. Consolidation, further push upwards, more returning of shares. Let me zoom in. Consolidation, ramp, rockets, selling off, consolidation, ramp, consolidation, rockets, selling off, ramp, and consolidation, rockets, selling off, consolidation, ramp. What do you think comes next? We're going to be so fucking rich. No, but again, this is why theta is key. Theta is the Greek for time. Time. Yeah, Alex is a great point. They are taking a bigger risk not covering today. Actually, I think it's a better risk. They're taking a calculated risk in not covering today, because I'm not taking sole credit for it. A lot of people came out with due diligence on Reddit, Twitter, YouTube. You fucking name it. You name it. I'm going to play that song, but no, I don't want to get copyrighted. Anyways, they know that people are watching this right now. They know that people are expecting it to go to the moon, and they want to temper those expectations and get you to think that that's never going to happen, that you made a mistake, that you better fucking sell off. They are playing psychology to a T. Monday, Free Life asks that, real quick, I'm going to answer this. It's not a dumb question. Are market makers allowed to hedge by owning calls? Yes. Owning calls from a market maker is basically a synthetic long. This is the way, this is what I call them, and this is what they're called. They're synthetic long positions. Okay, that means they don't really have shares, but they have calls that other people may have sold, and the market maker bought those with the express intent of not actually having to buy shares on the open market, but in case Roaring Kitty exercises calls, for example, the market maker can then exercise their own calls, forcing the retail investors that sold those covered calls to give them their shares. And again, this is done as in like a, all the names are in the hat. This is all the people that bought, that sold. This is all the people that sold covered calls on GameStop or AMC, for example. And the market maker, owns half of them. So they exercise some because they need them. They reach into the hat and pull out a name. Is this your name on there? Yeah, okay, cool. You're giving me your shares. They do it again and again and again until they have all the shares that they need. It's like it's the lottery assignment system, if you will. Chris says, I've been in a psychologically manipulative relationship for over 20 years with my ex, so I'm used to the manipulation by now. Bring it. Bring it. What do you think about this YouTube guy Palatino saying about PMI? More context, my friend. I don't know who that guy is, or PMI. What do you even mean about PMI, my friend? I don't even understand what you're getting at. All right. Anyways, back to what I was saying here. As you can see now, GameStop's green. Green on the day. Everybody was freaking out. Some people sold off their shares and ended up taking a loss. And even experienced traders might do that because they see the trend. They don't realize what's really happening. They don't think of it as manipulation. They think the stock's going straight down to zero. And that's why I didn't even bother streaming it during the day, because I'm not going to sit here and fucking just stream it 12 hours a day every day while I know that this is all artificial. Because I'm not going to sit here and babysit people every single moment of the day. You don't fucking need me. I'm not your financial advisor. You don't need me for that. You're here. I'm here to explain to you what's happening on the markets, why it's important, and what I believe to be going on these stocks. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I will always be here when it matters, when it's important, God willing. As long as he gives me strength and life and health, I will continue to do what I do. But again, as I mentioned earlier, higher lows, higher highs, the trend has significantly changed. I told you guys on Twitter, I'm not streaming yet because I'm waiting for the afternoon session so that these guys can finish doing their little fake bullshit, right? And the little fake bullshit is over. Now they're still doing it, but they're doing it on the upside. And now it's time to let you guys know, hey, look, this is why, and this is what we're looking at. The gamma ramp, the trap, is set. They have to close out the T plus 35 cycle from the previous. There is a new cycle and countdown happening. We're past the consolidation phase. We're past the shorting phase, in my opinion. And I'm going to buy more. Now, don't do it just because I'm doing it, and I'm not suggesting anybody do it. I just thought of it and realized it's 153. If I don't do it now, I'm going to regret it later. So I don't really care if this stock ends back up at $27 at the end of the day. I don't think that they're going to want to let it up above 30, but if they do, I win. If they don't, whatever, I still win. Because the reality of the matter is that next week is going to be an absolute fucking banger. Patrick asks, will there be a point when GameStop goes up to a certain percentage or price when AMC will follow and the hedge funds won't be able to keep the price so suppressed on AMC anymore? There's a reason they're scared shitless of the $80 mark for GameStop. There's a reason for it. They throw everything at the kitchen sink and their grandma at this stock to short it down when it hits $80. That is, in my opinion, that's the cutoff. That's the fucking cutting the head, one of the heads off the three-headed dragon, you know? And just so you guys know, in case you're wondering why I didn't buy earlier, if I know what I know, I'll explain. I was telling this to people in the think tank. The reason I didn't buy earlier is because my bank rejected, I'm sorry, not my bank, Fidelity rejected my fucking transfer yesterday. They rejected my fucking transfer. This has never happened. I have sent hundreds of thousands of dollars to Fidelity via wire transfer on multiple occasions. Hold on one second. On multiple occasions, and they have never rejected it. But of course, yesterday, they probably took a look at my account, realized I have nothing but fucking AMC and GameStop in it. I got a shitload of calls and shares. And they're like, this motherfucker's going to YOLO it more into this. Let's just reject it and tell them we need more information. I asked my banker, she called me this morning. She called me 4 times before I answered. And I'm like, what's going on? And she goes, they rejected it. I'm like, why? She said, I don't know. They need more information. And I'm like, okay, but why? We've done this a dozen times. You have all the records in there. You can see how much money we've transferred over the last 3 years. We've done this with Schwab, with Fidelity, 4 other brokers on top of that. IBKR, fucking Public. I even tried out. I tried out Mumu. I can't even remember them all right now. And I still have several brokers. And I'm like, we've transferred over tens of thousands to these assholes at Fidelity. Why did they? And they're like, I don't know. Like, we have all the information on there, the remittance information, the credit to information, their information, and this is not something that's normal. I'm like, I know it's not normal, and what can we do? She goes, we're going to try to send it over with the long form instead of the short form. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Give it a shot. Do it. So she sent it over. We filled it out, sent it over to them. And finally, instead of usually taking the usual 30 to 45 minutes, I just got my buying power again about 30 minutes ago. So that's why I didn't buy more shit yesterday. That's why I didn't buy more today as I had planned on doing earlier, because I was waiting for that transfer that I initiated at 8 o'clock in the morning yesterday to be completed, which obviously didn't happen because Fidelity rejected it. All right, I am golden. I am good to go. I'll put my sunglasses back on because the future is so bright I can hardly see. All right, back to it. Let's take a peek here. Look, $29.55. I am not in the least bit surprised that the stock is trending upwards here towards the end of the day. Expo is trolling me. Expo's trolling me. Isn't June 19th another bank holiday? Yeah, let's not talk about that right now. I don't want to get on a rant. Now, this is why we need Lit Exchange. Go to litexchange.com. There's no E at the beginning of exchange. And put your email in there, and you'll be contacted by us with more information really soon. Because for once in your life, a broker-dealer, an upcoming broker-dealer, is going to give you the opportunity to own the company instead of selling off to hedge funds. So you're welcome. And thank you for your partnership. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are 2 minutes from Power Hour, and the fun is about to begin. Antonio, another thing. Before I forget, just so you guys know, you want to know why Roaring Kitty has 9,001,000 call contracts? Somebody just mentioned January 2020, and you reminded me. Because that is the same number of shares that Ryan Cohen had in December of 2020, 35 days before the January 28th, before the January 21st through 28th massive run-up that caused Robinhood and Webull and IBKR and a dozen other brokers to make the stocks GameStop and AMC position close only. We are in a repeat of, this is now December 2020, right now in my opinion. And I have enough theta to take advantage of having to wait another 35 days and then some on my call contracts. Theta, 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 theta. Everybody say it with me. Theta, theta, theta. Time, time, time. Okay? Theta is key. Right now we are in mid to late December of 2020, about 35 days before the moonshot of AMC and GameStop. Now, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'll lose a few bucks, well, a few thousand or maybe tens of thousands of dollars on my call contracts. But that is a risk I'm willing to take. My risk tolerance can afford that. That being said, don't do anything just because I'm doing it, because you might regret it. Do your own due diligence. Do what you feel comfortable with. Buy, sell, or hold whatever the fuck you want. Because I'm not here to convince you about anything. I'm just here to tell you about what I see. I've been here 3 years now. More than 3 years now. Right? 3.5 years now almost. And I've been enjoying the fuck out of this ride. For a while there, we had year and a half of just kind of slow going, just kind of sitting by idly, just kind of letting things ride out and waiting for things to happen. Our time is now. Things are happening. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Why don't I have my Amy up here as well? I can't leave my girl out. Where's my girl Amy? Come back here. Amy's over $5. Really, in my opinion, Amy should be at $5.30 right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Amy on Monday, if not sooner, back at that price. Yep. This right here, 553 to 489, all fake. All fake. Now keep in mind, AMC's down 3%. That's whole 16 fucking cents. That's not really a big deal, you know. Not in my eyes, at least. None of this is a big deal, you know. Hey, my friends, it's good to see you as well. Airplane mode, Wolfie, you guys here? You guys hear me? Look at that! Look at that! Whoa! What is happening right here? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? $29.85. That's a candle. That's a candle. Look at this shit. Look at that fucking shit. That's a lot of volume right there. That's a lot of volume. We're at $29.85, and now let's see if they try to crush it down or if she just keeps on going. But it might be time for opposite hour here shortly. Hello. You guys hear me on the Discord? You guys with me here on the Discord too? Absolutely. We're rocking and rolling. It's awfully quiet today.
You.
Eagle Eye. Cheers, my brother. Cheers. Fabian says, greetings from Germany.
Clear,
greetings, my friend. What's up, brother? See you. Good to see you. We're here with our friends Lego, Pickle, Snake, Wolfie, Dank, Villain 1, Tyler, Son of a King, Road Dog, my guy, Rhino, Raindrop, my queen, Paul P. Welcome, Mr. Magic, Mobile, Mech, Limo, Lesage, J Mac, Jimmy, Gorilla Grodd, Eagle Eye, Captain Awesome, Bumblebee, Bagged and Tuned. We are fucking hitting it today.
Also, I grabbed my first shares of GME today, baby.
Congratulations, you lucky motherfucker. You got in on the ground floor. Diana, greetings from Leicester, UK. I hope I said that correctly. Greetings to you. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Airplane, shout out to the Think Tank. Shout out to you as well, my friend. $29.90.
Shit, you dumb fuck.
Haha, my man, Wolfman. Wolfie.
I'm modding. So anyone in the chat, don't ask for financial advice.
Hey, no worries, man. no commitments. You know, you can chill if you're busy or tired. Just hang out, man. You don't have to feel obligated or anything. But you're more than welcome to talk, just like everybody else. There's no obligations here.
No worries, my friend. In the background for now.
That's whatever, man. Join anytime you feel like it, if you feel like it.
Appreciate it, brother.
Expo Expedia says, why do I feel like it's going to run and they're going to try and pump fake selling pressure going into after hours? Probably because you know some shit about these fucking stocks. Who ripped it? Let me bust out the bust out a bit of the RSI here for now. Let's get back towards the top of the range. Currently RSI hanging out around 90, 96 or so. They're going to cool it off here back down towards 20. And from the looks of it, when you look at this RSI here, they pumped this stock pretty good. They moved up a good significant portion and came back down less than half of that amount and brought the RSI all the way down to 8. So last round here we saw a movement from 29 bucks to 29.50 and down to 29.08. The RSI moved from 100 to 20 and then continued to move, trend back upwards slowly. And that's pushing up. Obviously, the price action on the Heikin-Ashi candles is moving the RSI and not the other way around, right? But it is indicative of what's going on here. And it cooled off fairly quickly here, 29.93. Now they've got to cool it off a little bit more here. Oh, it looks like, yeah, gee, they don't want it to go over 30. Let's put it that way. If they can prevent it from going over 30, now that's a different story. Toxic Yo says, can you link the Discord? Yeah, I'll link the Discord one more time. Let me scoot it over right here to grab that for you. Copy the link. There we go. There are some strict rules in the Discord. There is no free speech in the Discord. A lot of people find that to be like, hey, isn't this free speech? What happened to that? Be like, oh, no, this is not America. This is my Discord. I'm not going to let you come in here and talk shit about my favorite fucking stocks just for the purposes of creating fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or because you don't understand basic market mechanics. But you're welcome to ask questions and converse and do due diligence with everybody. But the link to the Discord and the link to Lit Exchange are both in the chat right now. Cheers, motherfuckers. I'm putting a link there to Lit Exchange as well. And I'll put a link into the Discord so y'all can join that if you choose to do so. It is only valid for it's only valid for a few days, so you might as well get into the Lit Exchange website and to the Discord while you still can. Yeah, they're going to defend that $30 level with everything that they've got. There's a shitload of calls at $30 that they do not want in the money. They do not want anybody to try to exercise that shit. Even though when you think about the premium you paid, it's not necessarily worth it. It does create a lot of problems for them in the fact that some people might do it just to fuck them over, and that's a problem because there's 57,800 open interest on the $30 strike expiring today on GameStop alone. So they do not want those to close in the money. I assure you that. All right, here we go. So, okay, so now here comes the cooling off. Look at this RSI right here, all right? And you don't have to look at it if you're busy, right? But I'll explain it to you. RSI was at 99, and the price was at 29.83. It's gone to down 29.64, and the RSI is already cooling off between basically, now it's even lower now. It's either at 4, it's somewhere between 4 and 31, depending on the which one you're looking at here. So it's cooled off relatively quickly in comparison to how much it moved up. 29.99 close, says Chris, and I would not be surprised in slice. That's kind of what I'm expecting for the close. And then, you know, the overnight session's a completely different story. And then AMC here at 505. Again, max pain. They want it to be at 4.99 or even 5.00 at the highest. So that's kind of what we're looking at. That's kind of what we're looking at, in my opinion. And I'm expecting some wild movement on the stocks to the upside in the overnight, if not on Monday. So again, it's not advice. Discord link's invalid. Let me fix that. I saw that it cut off like 2 letters, and that's probably why. Let me just go ahead and fix that for you right now, and I'll pop it in there. One second. Boys, it's my partner at Lit Exchange. Hey, what's up, Mahul? How are you? I'm good, brother. Just over here doing the live stream right now. How about you? Yeah, we're on right at the moment. What are you up to? Hey, thanks for shooting that shit over to yeah, the auditor. That's a big deal. So thank you very much for knocking that out. I am. Yep. Whatever, I got a minute real quick. I got a second. I'm just watching the chart, hanging tight with everybody here in the crew. With a few thousand of my best friends. Cheers, motherfuckers. Yeah, what's cracking? Okay, did they go well? Did they go well? You sent them over the documentation? Okay. No doubt. All right. Okay, cool. Then sounds good. Then let's talk about that here after the stream a little bit later. Is that cool? We can work on that too. All right. All right, feel free to jump on if you feel like it. No commitments though, okay? All right, later, brother. Look at that. That right there is to be expected. They need more shares. So first they need to bring the price down. So as they pick up more shares, as they buy more, as they process more buy orders, the price goes up to $29.99, but does not exceed $30. Gardenherb says, I just bought 120 shares right before it went up before Power Hour. Yo, my guy, you're pretty smart. You're pretty smart in my opinion. Patrick says I think it says Patrick Hornick. Yeah, longtime AMC ape. Bought in a GME today for the first time. Love the channel. Green Bay, Wisconsin representing. My guy. Good for you. Good for you, my friend. Boss peeped the MACD. Yep, I was thinking about checking it out too. MACD doesn't always work on AMC and GameStop, but I still do like to check it out. It's still worth looking at. Let me zoom out, though. I'm too zoomed in for the MACD to be any good right there. Oh, whoa. That's chill. That's a good sign. That's bullish. Let me zoom out on the... Let me go to the one-day chart and then the 5-day chart. Really, the 1 month is where I think I need to be. Look at here. This is the moving average convergence and divergence. That's what MACD stands for the convergence of price and the divergence of price, etc. As you can see here, it's very consolidated, and then boom, shot up here to the $80 mark, brought back down, very, very low here as it was being pushed down hard. Then again, converged here in the center, boom, another jump here to 25, converged, boom, diverged heavily to the upside. That's when it hit, you know, in the 48s or whatever, converged, right? And then the divergence here to the upside with the ramp, and then push. And 67.50, Boom, converges here to the downside. And now what do you have here? You got the beginnings of the ramp, the convergence. And just take a guess what comes next. That's for you to decide, my friends, because I already know what I feel. I already know where I put my money. What's your thought about Roaring Kitty not exercising his calls and instead sold them and bought shares the retail way, which will have no effect? That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Everybody is going to have their own opinion. People are going to think they know so much about it, et cetera, et cetera. In my opinion, in my heart of hearts, I am 100% confident that Roaring Kitty sold 80,000 or so contracts and exercised 40,000 contracts. Nobody is going to say, nobody has proof otherwise, because I have the proof that he did do that based on his average cost basis, including the 5 million shares he already owned and the 4 million more he has now. When you take that into account, you add in the premium from having sold, from having exercised those call contracts, that equals his average of around $23 and change. That's it. That's it. If he had sold those and bought 4 million shares in cash at $27 to $29 a share, then his cost basis would be above $26 a share, without question. So anybody that gives otherwise, that says, oh, he sold and he bought, I understand that they mean well. I understand that. Most people mean well. But I know a lot of things that they don't know. And that doesn't mean that I'm more intelligent than them in every single way. But that means that in this particular one little thing, I know more than what those people think that they know. And that's okay, in my opinion, because nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Not even myself. I've made mistakes in the past, and I will make mistakes in the future, and I will be more than happy to come out and say, hey, I fucked up, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that, or whether it was an honest mistake, whatever, and we move forward and we adjust and we move on. Now you can see here, you can see some really, really artificial downward movements, in my opinion, with some huge candles, $565 million worth of red candles here in 1 minute chart, just on one candle alone. They're going to bring it down to 28.50, maybe even 28.20, and then they're going to push back up over the next 40 minutes, 42 minutes. Down Under says, been holding over 3 years. Jimmy made 3 trades in the past few days and increased my position by 90%. This is the way, my friend. This is the way. In your base, experience counts a ton in the market. Captain Awesome says, looks like I'm eating my own words about the Max Payne claim, damn it. No, man, I think we're going to end up under Max Payne today. They don't want it to go over Max Payne, so they will probably fail to deliver quite a bit, and then things will move up at another time. Guys, make sure you're muted or I will server mute you. Thank you very much. That goes for everybody. You're welcome to speak, but mute yourself when you're done. Or turn on push to talk. Make things easier. Oh, fuck, I'm so sore. There's some pretty fucking heavy workouts in them. I took yesterday off, though. I need to get back in the gym today. My queen, Lisa, Michael, Chad, David, Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be here with all of you on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and everything in between. AMC increased in position in AMC by over 110%. Wow. Wow, that's fucking phenomenal. That's phenomenal. I will, Tyler. You're right. Next
Mayo
week,
Man's gonna be drowning in Matt Kors' fanny pack.
Good old Kenny Griffin. I'm Ken Griffin's biggest fan. If it wasn't for Ken Griffin and these other shorts, naked shorts and market makers, we would have no opportunity to be filthy fucking rich. So I appreciate them and their manipulation. They've red pilled a large portion of the people around the world, and that's really done everybody a solid. That's done everybody a huge favor. Hey, is Mehul in the chat? Where's he at? There he is. What's up, my brother? Hey, that's my partner there from Lit Exchange, hanging out in the chat on YouTube right now with all you guys. Mehul Patel. Huge shout out to you, bro. Elliot, I will definitely try to keep up the informational streams, my guy. That's for sure. Nebulous, thank you, my friend. And you know what? That goes out to all you men out there as well. You real men. Happy Father's Day to all you real men that put your family first, that take care of your business, that do right by your children and your wives. God bless you. God bless you. All right, so the MACD has cooled off tremendously. The stochastic RSI has been absolutely crushed. And now it's time for the reversal back up to $29.99. Corey asks, your thoughts on APE shares, the AMC preferred equity, not being delivered globally and never being converted. That's exactly what I believe, my friend. There's a lot of evidence pointing to the fact that the shares of APE were never properly delivered to a vast majority of people, and they are currently holding AMC shares that are synthetic. However, no worries in that sense, because when you sell a share during, say, like a squeeze or whatever, or for fundamental increase in the price, then you will still be able to make money off that share. But up until there is some sort of a corporate action or a merger or acquisition or dividend or a closeout of shorts, those will remain as synthetic shares until they close out those positions, and that's okay. That's something that people need to realize, that it doesn't matter if your shares in your account are real or fake. What matters is that nothing lasts forever, and no naked short can hold their short positions forever. No synthetic shares can maintain their synthetic form forever as long as the company doesn't go bankrupt. And AMC and Gamestop have paid off. GameStop now has no debt and has $4 billion in the bank. AMC has paid off over $2 billion in debt over the last 3 years and now has less debt than they did prior to the scamdemic, and has around $750 million in cash on top of that. So both companies are doing extremely well. They have increased their fundamentals. They're increasing their revenues incredibly, their profits, even based off of fewer customers. So that is great. Great to see. They have decreased their losses greatly over the last few years and have positioned themselves for incredible pivots. GameStop as a holding company with potential to become a Berkshire Hathaway type turnaround, and they could easily start taking over these bankrupted companies and funding them, bringing liquidity back to them, thereby increasing their length of time in the market, bring them out of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, forcing a short squeeze on them and making those companies extremely well capitalized. Meanwhile, they could make easily hundreds, if not thousands of % increases on their investments in those bankrupted companies by bringing them back on the market. AMC as well, with their move into distribution of films instead of just a movie theater, into food, into merchandise, into partnerships with Amazon and Kroger and Walmart and so on, and many, many other things. I think AMC's next step is they're going to start making their own movies. I think AMC will start making their own films, and then those films that they make will be distributed by their film distribution company. And then AMC Theaters, of course, will make money on top of that as a movie theater, and then as a food company, and so on, and the list just goes on and on. For both of these, GameStop's got an incredible pivot coming ahead of them. I have utmost faith in Ryan Cohen and in Adam Aron, and anybody who thinks that that one or the other is out to get them, they have to realize that both of them are the number one shareholder in their respective stock, in their respective company. Yeah, Free Like Summer says, exactly. AMC owns, 20% of a gold and silver mine that is starting to extract those metals from the ground, coming, I believe, next month, the beginning in July. Highcroft Mining Corporation. This is an amazing long-term move by them.
Boss, somebody posted something about some crazy silver being shorted yesterday, like 5,000 ounce contracts or something.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Silver's up heavily today, though. It's moving back up. Again, everything's in a trend. Everything moves in trends. Everything. And in my opinion, $30 is the new level of support for silver. So the fact that it's down to like 29, it was down to like 28 bucks and change. It's going to fill that gap right back up to 30. And as of today, I checked the silver spot price earlier, and it was at 29.50. And it's pretty soon it'll be right back up over 30, probably in the weekend session, if not next week. Ape J, did Wolverine buy the 4 million shares? No, they might fail to deliver, which would just start another T plus 35 super cycle. As I told you guys earlier, I know I had it muted. I was talking to my daughter, just so you guys know. But I'm back. I am back. We've got about 34, 33 minutes left in the trading session. We've got swaps and failures to deliver due today, and then even more due next week. And then we have another cycle, in my opinion, coming over the next 35 days as well. And that's what we're currently looking at. So I am holding all of my June 21st call contracts into next week because I am confident in the possibility of something big. Even though that is, of course, very risky. Unusual join activity into the Discord. It's not surprising. $28.83. We are chilling right now on GameStop. AMC at 501, also chilling. It's just hanging out. Yeah, they're going to creep AMC to 5. They're going to, you know what, if they can get GameStop, if they can keep GameStop under 28, I mean under 29, they're going to try. But again, there's still 30 minutes left. I think it's going to move right back up towards that direction. Maybe, you know, 29.30, 29.50, maybe 29.99. But yeah, you guys, Ryan Cohen had 9,001,000 shares when he joined GameStop in 2020, December. And right now, and what happened one month later, well, you guys know what happened in January. And now Roaring Kitty has 9,001,000 shares. And so it's looking like we are in December of 2020 all over again.
Dude, this shareholder meeting is going to be legit.
It's going to be fucking wild, dude. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, National Take Your Cat to Work Day. I might go to the pet store and just get a cat just for the day, man.
You just borrow one for one day.
They're like, I'm going to go advertise today, people. Come on, give me a cat.
That's great.
Is that something that has happened before? Like, have we heard of a meeting being moved because of technical difficulties with the meeting?
I believe so. I believe it has. But not to the extent that we just saw. Like, that was not organic, in my opinion. That was a DDoS attack by... Yeah, there was a lot of people trying to join, for sure. And that was definitely putting a massive load on their servers. But in my opinion, that was a paid DDoS attack that just absolutely crushed them with, you know, thousands and thousands of requests every second.
I would tend to agree.
Yeah, and I think it tends to the understanding there of just how important it is for the shorts specifically to trade against the stocks. You know what I mean? These stocks specifically. Cheers. Hey, my friends. Thanks for subbing. Welcome to the channels. Follow us on, you know, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, YouTube and everything. Feel free to hop on because the train is getting ready to leave the station with me, my friends. So join up and we'll go for a ride. That's great. Great news. Yeah, South Korea is implementing reforms that will put naked short sellers in prison. That's correct. Sam H says, you called it, boss. It's almost like we've seen this movie before at the end of the trading day. Yeah, exactly. The GameStop shareholder meeting on Monday. We'll be here for it, you guys. I am so fucking pumped. Damn, I typed that like shit. Whatever, who cares? It's been rescheduled for Monday at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay? Get this shit out of here. Put my information in here. Put my company info, my number. I agree to the terms. Let's see, this is what it looks like right now. Oh, no, stop the music, please. Okay. So, I'm logged in to the meeting, and I'm going to stay logged in to the meeting until Monday, okay? So, this this was the one that already happened, so I'm going to have to log out and log back in, but whatever. Here, let me play this for you. Let me see if I can get it to work out here. It's just the portion where he gives us the information. Or did they not at all? Anyways, I played it on the last one. It doesn't seem to be here in this particular section here. But yeah, I'm going to have this puppy up and ready to roll long before we actually get into it there on Monday. So it is early on Monday during market hours. Now you guys know that they had expected it to take place during market hours, and they rescheduled it for today at market close. And I was thinking to myself, why the fuck would they do it during market close? That's dumb. And then they rescheduled it for Monday, and I thought, that's fantastic. Now it's going to happen during market hours. That's great news. Yeah, but I told you guys about what happened with Fidelity as well. Some other people are saying they're having issues with Fidelity. Fidelity rejected my wire transfer for the first time. I've done dozens and dozens of large wire transfers to Fidelity and other brokerages. But for the first time ever, with the exact same bank account, with the exact same bank, with the exact same information, with the exact same filled out in the same format, Fidelity rejected my transfer yesterday. My wire, and I had to call my bank again. Well, my bank called me this morning. She called me like 4 times. I answered up. She emailed me. She called me a bunch of times. I love credit unions, and she told me that why, and I'm like, I was astounded. So I decided to do it again. I'm like, you know what? Like I ain't playing games. Like, let's go ahead and we filled out the long form version, even though we've never had to do that before, with the exact same information that we had on it yesterday, and I had my buying power there within 30 minutes. So, as I tell you guys, I always like to have buying power in my brokerage accounts. But I put all the money that was left into more GameStop and AMC. So I had to, being the fucking degenerate that I am, I had to put more in again. So I put more in so I could buy more, and that's what I did just moments ago. So John says I'm ready for the moon, and I'm ready for the moon as well. I don't give a fuck one way or the other, other than I'm prepared. I feel more comfortable doubling down before the after hours and pre-market shoots up, and then nothing. If nothing happens, no problem. At least I'm in. But if it does move and I'm not in, I didn't go in deeper, then I really be more pissed about that. I'd be more pissed about missing out on my gains than on losing some money. That's just how I feel, even in the short term. Or even losing some money to theta decay. That doesn't matter to me. Yeah, that's okay if you can't put more in. You have to just be comfortable with what you're willing to risk. And a lot of people like to say that stock market is not gambling, that it's investing, that it's a calculated risk. Yeah, it's all fucking gambling. I don't care if it's fucking Nvidia or Apple or Tesla or Google or GameStop or AMC or bonds or what the fuck it is. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing. There's low risk, low reward, bonds. Mid risk, mid reward, some of those other blue chips. And then there's high risk, high reward. I'm all for the high risk, high reward. I'm 38 years old. I am I thank God for, I feel like I've got still some significant amount of time left on this earth, even though time does go by far too quickly. So if I lose some money in the short term, I'm totally okay with that, because in the midterm to long term, I know I'll make that money back thousands of times over. And that's my level of risk tolerance. I understand that might not be the same for somebody who's retired, or somebody who is, 20 years old, or somebody who is strapped for cash, and I get that. And that's okay. Everyone's got their own individual situation, and I respect you. If you're holding 10 shares, I respect you. If you're holding 100 shares, I respect you even more. If you're in the stocks at all and you're active and you're positive in the community, I respect you to hell and back. I will fight for you until we win. And that's it. When Moas. It's always on Tuesday, 2 p.m. Garden says, first time to your channel, and I really dig it, bro. We think a lot like too on that note. Thanks for what you're doing. Cheers, Matt. Welcome to the channel. It's good to see you. It's good to meet you. We've been here 3.5 years, a lot of us. And we've been, if you look at some of my prior videos, you'll see that we maintain our consistency here because it's extremely important. If I felt that AMC and GameStop had lost their charm, or were going to go to zero, or whatever, I would walk away. I'd say, you know what, guys, I no longer feel comfortable in these stocks, whatever, tell you however I feel. Say I have to sell my positions, I have to take care of my family, whatever, I'm out. And then I would do that. I would sell, and I'd be on my way, and you'd never see me again about those stocks, and I'd be done. But that's not how I feel. I've done over 6,000 hours of research just on these stocks alone, due diligence, fundamental, across the board, and I will be here as long as it takes. That's why I constantly talk about that's why I constantly talk about Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett said, if you're not willing to own a stock for 10 years, you have no business owning that stock for 10 minutes. I would rather own AMC and GameStop for 10 years and make thousands and thousands of % than own the S&P 500 or the SPY ETF for 10 years and make 8 to 10% a year. Without question. Without question. I own the SPY for 10 years. I might make 100% over those 10 years. I own AMC and GameStop for 10 years. I might be down for, let's just joking around, like just messing around, like 8 or 9 years. I might be down the whole time. But at the end of that 10th year, I might be up 2, 3, 4,000%, 6,000% or more. So in reality, it's about the long term. Everybody wants everything to be instant gratification, to happen right away. Sure, yeah, I'd like it too. But the reality of the fact is that not everything happens immediately. And when you're in the stock market, you have to be prepared to wait a long time and stay well capitalized and take care of yourself, your family, your friends, and your lifestyle until you can reap the rewards. Period. Kirsten says, my dad has a stock certificate in a frame from Apple. He was one of the first 300 employees. Wondering if the certificate is valid. Wouldn't that be awesome? I would bet it is. That is really cool. I am impressed. And in the same way that you're talking about he was one of the first 300 employees at Apple, that is how people are going to one day talk about Lit Exchange. I truly feel that. And right now, we haven't taken a single dime from anybody. We have not borrowed or accepted any investments from anybody for Lit Exchange. My partner Mahul and other people on our team, contractors, and other people that are going to be future employees and partners in the company have put their blood, sweat, and tears into the company. But Mahul and I have put in massive amounts of money into these, and thousands and thousands of hours into Lit Exchange. And eventually here, we will be launching the campaign that through the FINRA approved funding portal. And as I've showed you guys here, I will briefly show you guys that we have filed our Reg D filing, Notice of Exempt Offering of Securities with the Securities Exchange Commission. And soon we will be filing the Reg CF, Form C, also with the Securities Exchange Commission. And you can find it on the SEC Edgar website under Lit Exchange. We have filed this one. We are currently just making what's the word I'm looking for? An amendment to this filing right now. And that will be basically changing the broker-dealer with which we were working on. But we were just waiting for them to file the Form C for us to make the amendment so we can do both at the same time. And meanwhile, in the background, they're working on both. And we are doing a, where the fuck is it here? You can see as a Rule 506C filing. There has been no first sale of any sort. We have not accepted any money from anybody yet. We are going to file an amendment here on the Reg D and file a brand new Reg C as well so that we can do both non-accredited investors and accredited investors. We are offering equity in the company, so you will have shares in the company that in the future, once we IPO, you will then have the opportunity to sell. If, God bless and God willing, we get that far. Of course, I believe we will. This is a $10 million offering through Reg D, and we are doing a $5 million offering through Reg C as well. So that's where we are. As you can see here is Lit Exchange. My partner Mehul, myself is somewhere on here as well. I don't know where the hell I left it, but whatever. Oh, there I am. There's Marcel. This is the corporate address. We will be based out of Dallas once we launch our offices, but right now our corporate address is in Austin, Texas, because we are incorporated in Austin, in Texas. Excuse me, we're incorporated in Texas, and you will be able to find more information about us on our website at litexchange.com. As you can see here, it's litexchange.app. We own both domains. We wanted to make it easy for people to find because we will eventually, of course, have an application for your iPhone and Android. So you can go there and join our beta and our waitlist for the Founders Program. And we've got thousands of people already signed up there as well. And founding members will receive priority for life within the customer service and within the app and other things that we offer. So again, of course, we are not yet a licensed broker-dealer and are not offering any securities of any kind for purchase or sale until we have met all regulations as required by law. Okay? In order to receive the FINRA approval that we're going after as a fully licensed stockbroker-dealer, we need to have 12 months of expenses in our company bank account. And to meet these requirements, we are launching this Regulation D and Regulation CF private equity investment campaigns in June of 2024 to both accredited and non-accredited investors such as yourself. Okay, here's a little bit about me in case you want to know a little bit about me. Here's the video that I showed you guys earlier today. And again, this now has 420,000 views and thousands of likes and reposts, and just continues to gain speed. This is not what our website is going to look like. This is just information about the company and how you can join the Founders Program. When we launch the website, it is going to be the same URL, litexchange.com, but all of this will be different when we do actually launch, just so you guys know. This is for informational purposes. That's the whole point behind the splash page website. Gamestop at $28.81, Amy at $4.99 right now. And we know where they want to be, right? We know where they want to end the day. I have a lot of silver and gold. I have a lot of silver specifically that I like. But this is one of my favorites, and I've got a couple extra that I'm sending to a friend. But this one here is let me get it to focus instead of focus on me. This is the Highcroft Mining Corporation, AMC silver coin, 1 ounce silver coin. And on the back it says, developing Nevada's next world-class project, Highcroft Mining Corporation. And on the front it says, Highcroft and AMC. Let me see if I can ever get this damn thing to focus. Why the fuck does it do that? There you go. Highcroft and AMC, 999 fine silver. It's the plastic case is scratched. It's not the coin itself. It's a beautiful, beautiful coin. And I was lucky enough to be one of the few people that was able to buy this, because this is like a collector's edition coin that I will never sell. But I can't get it to focus on the back of it either. There it is. Yeah, an HYMC, Highcroft. We had the CEO of Highcroft Mining Corporation, Diane Garrett, here on this channel, a friend, Pantheon, and I, who I am super appreciative for. And she did an interview here with us, and she was absolutely amazing, incredible person, incredibly talented individual, intelligent CEO who has run multiple mining corporations to the moon, and now it's HYMC's turn. So look at that barcoding here going on GME here. Barcoding trading sideways at the moment, where they want, it looks like they want to keep it at under 29 for the end of the day. And AMC, they're currently barcoding as well from fractions of $4.99 and $5 as well. A lot of heavy shorting in the last hour. And now it's going to trade sideways here towards the end of the day. That's where we're going to end off. Mr. Mufasa says, am I in trouble? I have contracts expiring next week and the 28th. I don't know, my friend. I got contracts expiring on the 21st as well. I'm not worried. But again, I have a high risk tolerance. So that's up to you to decide. Hey, Free Like Summer. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I think the coin is really awesome as well. Mr. Berglund, Lit Exchange will eventually be going international. Yes, sir. First, we will launch here in the United States, and then we will be going international and meeting all the regulations we need there to operate as a broker overseas as well. Because let me put it this way, companies like Revolut and are complete garbage. And there's other ones out there. And say there's not many. There's not many out there. So we look forward to making some serious changes in the European markets and in the American and Canadian markets. I can't give you an exact timeline on when it's going to be, but we do intend on doing that fairly quickly. Yeah, Vincent's correct. Yeah, silver should be valued much, much higher than it currently is. Absolutely right. Let's take a look here at the Twitterverse. Let's see what's going on. The DOJ responds to Merrick Garland's contempt charge by saying that he ignored the House subpoena is not a crime, and there will be no grand jury or investigation into AG Merrick Garland's contempt of Congress. This is what democracy governance looks like. The DOJ just gave the House the middle finger again. Your turn, Rep. Luna. You promised Garland would be arrested. Now make it happen. As you can see, Biden's criminal Department of Justice is not doing their job when it matters. But, of course, they're able to go after law-abiding citizens anytime they point them out. Because they don't care about the American people. They don't care about about actually helping Americans and doing the right thing. What is this? Look at Joe Biden lost his shit. Look at this.
I have made very clear to the Israelis what they have to do in the near term. If they don't, what's going to happen?
So what's going to happen? Is the U.S. going to cut off funding?
I came because usually you tell me I have a nice suit and you didn't comment on my suit today, so I feel a little offended. No. Thank you. Can you sit back in, sir, please? Thank you.
And I know you're a typical press guy. You're grabbing me in front of this, all this, and I trust you as far as I throw your phone. I have a good arm, man. I'm sure you can. I can throw it a long way. But my point is this. Yes.
What a fucking tool. What a fucking tool. So here we go. We're going to close at AMC here in 5 minutes. AMC at $4.99. Gamestop at 74 or so. We got 5 minutes left. And of course, here with my friend AMC for All, I've done a few videos with this guy as well. He's known as AMC for Everyone on Twitter. And why AMC closes at $4.99 today? Because there's 32,000 call options at the $5 strike. And of course, the market makers can't have that. That adds further to the issues with Gamma that we're already been talking about. Yeah, in case you guys didn't know, Trump has been talking heavily now about eliminating the income tax, the federal income tax, in favor of high import tariffs. So I was already going to vote for him, but this should get a lot of people's ears up and confirmed that they do need to think heavily about what's more important to you. Are you more mad that he makes mean tweets, or do you want certain things to be exposed, such as the 9/11 files? Do you want certain people and agendas to be crushed, such as the indoctrination of children and the destruction of the middle class and the destruction of the family units that we're currently seeing with the Democrats and the deep state and the World Economic Forum? Do you want higher taxes and higher prices for everything, or do you want fewer taxes and a better economy like we saw under Donald Trump? And in case you guys are wondering, the real estate market is looking very, very poorly, and that will continue to trend downwards. A lot of the price runs that we've seen, and it's localized. Every neighborhood's different, every state's different, but as a whole, commercial and residential real estate market have taken a serious downward trend, and that's going to continue and start to be exacerbated here the further that commercial real estate pushes things along. Cool. Gardner, you need to chill the fuck out, my guy. It's all good, man. It's all good. The reason they all hate Donald Trump is because he's not one of them. Bye, sweetie. Love you. They all hate Donald Trump because he's not one of their team. The Republicans hate him because he doesn't follow their agenda. The Democrats hate him because he's the opposite of their agenda. There's a reason they all hate him, because he's not part of the crew. There's a club, and he's not in it anymore. Let's take a look here. We got 2 minutes left. AMC is going to get crushed under 5. GameStop is going to get crushed, is already under 29. So that's a good sign for them right now. But this is not the end-all, be-all. We have all of the overnight sessions on the stocks. And next week is really where I think we got 35 days. There's another cycle happening here, in my opinion. And things are going to get wild for the next FTD and swap cycle also. I think Roaring Kitty was like, he could have done this exercise these last week and taken in $1 billion. But he purposely didn't. He purposely didn't to let retail have a shot at it. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. Because he could have sold last week and had his $1 billion, and he could have done it earlier this week, but he didn't. He did it purposely when it would matter the most, when it would have the biggest impact, and that was yesterday. That's why he exercised those calls yesterday. GME, they're about to close in about a minute here. Yeah, Nick, it's not about people. This whole channel is about macroeconomics, geopolitics, and you know, the financial sector. And anybody who wants to pretend that that does not include politics is absolutely crazy, in my opinion. Politics are geopolitics, politics, macroeconomics are all part of the greater financial markets, including AMC and GameStop being part of those. So that's what this whole channel revolves around. That's why you see, you know, you see the description in the channels and everything like that. And we're heavy into the politics because this isn't just about pandering to people and telling them that, I believe AMC and GameStop are going to the moon. No, this is about the greater financial system and the fact that these stocks, along with silver and gold, are the greatest threat to banks and shorts in the history of mankind. Look at this. Boom. Where do we close at? $28.72 on the Jimmy. $4.98 on the Amy. Bingo. Bingo. Beautiful. Now the real fun begins. The after hours sessions, the overnight sessions, the pre-market sessions, and next week. So, again, closed at Max Payne. Not surprising whatsoever. But again, this channel is not for snowflakes. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for people that, are only want to talk about AMC and GameStop. This channel is for people that want to talk about the greater financial system. That is what the whole purposes of it has always been. You guys saw me in 2020 calling out inflation before it even took hold. In 2021, I was calling out hyperinflation was about to hit 6 months before it did. And we were absolutely fucking right. We were absolutely fucking right. Because we saw it coming. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Congressional Budgetary Office, they all told us exactly what was about to happen. And we were telling all the people on this channel as we were trying to build it, and very few people actually took it seriously. Now everybody's fucking looking and being like, why didn't somebody tell us? Yeah, well, same way I was telling people about inflation before it took off, or the same way that I was telling people about AMC and GameStop before they took off again, and the same way that all of this is going to continue. Hyperinflation, the collapse of many, many banks, it's all here to stay. AMC and Jimmy are just getting started. That's for damn sure.
They changed the formula. They changed the weightings to make the number look better than it is.
And they do that multiple times a year. Multiple times. They remove things like, for example, they reduce the percentage of oil, like cooking oils and pasta sauces in the percentage of the calculation of the CPI in order to bring it down. And last month, they reduced the weighting of other things. I can't remember. Well, that was some of those things, but there was other additional factors there. And so even though CPI is up higher, because used car sales, inflation on used cars were down slightly, that brought down the greater CPI numbers because they increased the calculation and the weighting, WEIGHT, weight of used cars on the CPI in order to bring down the numbers. These guys, the Bureau of Labor Statistics right now with the Biden administration is literally cooking the fucking books in order to make it seem as if we're not in a recession, to make it seem as if inflation is coming down when it's not. It's not. This is not over. This is far from over. We're going to see some hyperinflation, in my opinion. It's just getting started. It really is. It really is. Yeah, BRICS is coming in, and it's going to fuck up a lot of things with the U.S. dollar being the petrodollar and such. And a lot of people don't want to admit it. They don't want to realize that they think America's got the strongest, the strongest military in the world, will always be number one. That's not the way things work. Every major society, every major government in the history of the world has at one point been taken over by another. That includes America as well. That will happen here also. Primalius, welcome to the channel, my friend. Oh, that's a hell of a chart as well. Here's the momentum tech stocks. This was 2022, the peak, and what happened there, right? A real nice correction. What are we seeing right now? A double top. She's about to get actually, well, 1, 2, 3. It broke over here. Now it's double topping again. We're going to see another rejection. We saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 months before the drop, so we might have a market crash in another coming up at us soon here. correction and then eventual crash, because it's always slowly at first and then all at once. And again, as I told you guys last week, we've had the same downturn now for the last 9 months that we have not seen in history except for one other time, 2007. We were seeing the same downturn in stocks. More stocks are down in the S&P 500 over the last 9 months than are up. And the only other time that this has happened in history is 2007. That's the only time 9 months consecutively this has occurred, because this is the beginning of the end. Why does Dave Lauer and Mexicape say the premium is not included in the cost average? Because somebody called E-Trade, and some newbie fuck that doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground at E-Trade told them that it wasn't included in the calculation. But that's retarded. No, I'm sorry, that's an insult to mentally ill people to say that that's retarded. That's beyond retarded. That's dumber than dirt. That's like going to buy a used car or a new car. It's going to buy a car and saying, I didn't calculate my monthly payment to include my interest and taxes. I just calculated the value of the car, but I didn't include all the interest and taxes I'm going to have to pay every month. That makes no fucking sense. No broker in the fucking world is going to let you exercise calls and not include the premium of the call contracts in that value. None. None. Impossible. Not to mention, I already did the math. I did the math, and I've proven on multiple occasions that the numbers equal out the fact that Roaring Kitty exercised 40,000 contracts. That's it. So it's like, I'm done talking about it because I feel like a broken record. Other people are going to have their opinion. People can call E-Trade. You know, you can talk to some junior fucking customer service rep over there that doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and they're going to give you bad information. Other people have called over there also, and they got the information that, yes, that they do calculate it in the cost basis. Because of course they fucking do. Because again, that's like saying I bought a house and I'm only going to pay the principal. I'm not going to calculate the interest, the taxes, and the insurance in my monthly payment. I'm just going to pay the principal, and I'm not going to pay the interest, the taxes, or the insurance. I'm just going to pay the principal only, and everything's going to be fine. That's not the way it works. He even made a video today saying he likes and respects you, but you're wrong. Honestly, dude, I don't care. You know, I like and respect him too. But the fact of the matter is, I know I'm not wrong. You know, I know I'm not wrong. That's okay. You can believe him if you want. It doesn't matter to me what you believe or who you think is right or who you think is wrong. I know what I know. Period. And I've shown it and I've proved it on multiple occasions. Go ahead and call E-Trade for yourself and ask them if it's on there. And if they tell you it's not included in the calculation for the cost basis, speak to a supervisor, because they'll tell you the little newbie customer service rep who answers the phone that follows their little script when they're asking you questions to verify you. They don't know dick. There are 50,000 contracts, 125 call expiring next week. Is that gambling or do they know something? Well, my friend, that's everything in the stock market is gambling. But let's just say I have quite a few of those myself. Quite a few. Exactly. Question says, hold on. Now I'll tell you another thing. Question says, Roaring Kitty would get screwed on his taxes if that was not part of his cost basis, because he would have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on premium that he would never get back if he wasn't included in the cost basis. It has to be fucking included. Period. Ooh-wee, look at that. Look at that. Are they getting ready to push it down for some big upward movement? They might be. They might push this bitch down as far as they can and then upwards on the stock. I'm not sure, but we're going to see. That's what I believe. Also, if he would have sold his contracts and then bought shares, he would be paying a shitload more in taxes. I'm talking tens of millions of dollars more in taxes with the way that works. Someone's going swimming. They're going swimming. They're going swimming right here. Push down. They're going stop loss hunting. Who needs shares? The fucking market makers need shares. Let's go stop loss hunting and get all those fucking amateurs that don't know better on AMC and Gamestop and get their fucking stop losses. And let's hit it. Let's look at Amy. Let's look at Amy. All right, a little bit smaller movement, but it's fairly similar thing as well. Jimmy, look at her go. All the way. They're dipping down. They're dipping down low. They're going fishing. They're putting it out there. Oh, if you put that stop loss there at $28, we're going to go over there. We're going to fish your ass up. Give me those fucking shares. I need those fucking shares, says Wolverine. Fucking Citadel and Virtue are trying to scoop them up right out from underneath you. They're hunting for you. Look, there you go. Warley says, I bought $3 calls on E-Trade for 76 cents each. When I exercise my portfolio, it shows the cost of $3.76. Exactly, Warley. Exactly. There's no fucking way in hell that a broker does not include your premium in the cost basis. That is fucking idiotic. It is ignorant. It is stupid to think that they wouldn't include that. Okay? I'm not calling the people stupid, the people that think that. I'm calling the idea of it stupid. And it's okay, because E-Trade, some junior fucking customer service rep told them that it was not included in the cost basis. That junior customer service rep doesn't know their ass from a hole in the ground. All you know how to do is answer the phones and verify that you are that you say who you are, and that's it. And answer basic questions, and then anything else they got to send it up to their supervisor. That's not the way that things work. Again, Warley here from E-Trade, who's done this at E-Trade, when he's bought those $3 calls in E-Trade for 76 cents, when exercised, his portfolio shows the cost of $3.76. Period. So there's no reason to talk about it. People are going to think they're right. People are going to think all sorts of things. I'm not here to convince everybody that I'm right. I'm here to tell you guys what I know. Take it for yourself. Do your own due diligence and figure it out for your fucking self. Because Warley's absolutely right. I'm tired of talking about this premium too. I'm done talking about it. I'm done. There's nothing left to say. I've explained it time and time again, over and over again. And some people just want to feel like they're right. Some people want to feel like the other person is wrong. And I don't care if I'm wrong. I've told you guys in the past. Yesterday, I admitted to being wrong about something. Because I told you guys I thought that he exercised the calls the day before yesterday. And I came out yesterday. I said, hey, you know what, guys? I was wrong. He sold the calls for the $70 million the day before yesterday. And yesterday, he exercised the calls. And now today, those calls have to be delivered to Roaring Kitty. Period. And they could deliver those they could put them in his account and then fail to deliver them today and then deliver them on Monday or Tuesday. They have T plus 35 to deliver those shares to Roaring Kitty. 4 million shares, 4,001,000 shares to Roaring Kitty. They've got up to 35 days from the day it happened, from today, because of T plus 35. That's the FTD cycle. Free like Summer says, folks, I worked as a customer service rep for a long time. I also didn't know if it was my ass or the hole in the ground. That's right, my friend. And that's not an insult. It's just the facts. You know, like when you're a customer service rep, a junior rep, you're learning. You're faking it till you make it. You're just trying to help people. You're just trying to do your job. You're trying not to get fired. You're trying to learn, and give people information. You can't call your supervisor every single time there's a question that you don't 100% know the answer. That fucking supervisor's out there handling 38 different problems at once. He doesn't want to hear you ask some dumbass question that, like that. Like, plain and simple. Calendar days. T plus 35 is the trading day plus 35 calendar days. Dylan, they can fail to deliver. The shares are in his account. Okay, like the shares are there. Now the market maker has to deliver them. Okay, to the clearinghouse, is it? Excuse me, I'm having this is a very complicated thing here. So they get put into his account. So Roaring Kitty has them, right? But now the market maker has to actually deliver on those to the clearinghouse. Okay? And if they don't, that's a fail to deliver. And if they didn't deliver those to the clearinghouse, they FTD'd on them, and they got 35 days plus the trading day to get them back to the clearinghouse. That's it. Anthony, just so you know, the shareholder meeting was scheduled for today at market close, and then GameStop rescheduled it for 10:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, Monday, 10:30 a.m. Central, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And we'll be here on this channel watching it. I'm going to get it up on my screen the day before so that we don't have any issues getting in. What is it about the stop loss on shares? Well, people, when they buy shares, they put stop losses on it sometimes, especially if they're not very familiar with AMC and GameStop. And market makers and hedge funds and algorithms go hunting to hit those stop losses to buy those shares, because they're going to go down here with spoofing orders and selling shares from one person to another and back. Basically, that's wash trading. They're going to wash trade. I got 10,000 shares. I'm going to sell them to you. You're going to sell them back to me for a lower price. I'm going to sell them back to you for 5 cents lower. You're going to sell them back to me for 5 cents lower. Whatever. We're going to put up a bunch of fake orders, spoof the market, spoof the national best bid and offer, make it look as if it's stair-stepping down, cancel all the orders before they implemented, and let the other people that are trying to trade right now process those orders in order to pull it down. That's the process of spoofing and wash trading. They hit the markets right here, and meanwhile the market makers buying up orders from stop losses that are set at these levels. So now they just got a few extra 10,000, extra 100,000 shares in their pockets that they can deliver, so that they don't fail to deliver. So that's what's going on. This is the market manipulation that we're fighting against. That's why I never use a stop loss order. You will never, ever, ever see me with a stop loss on AMC or GameStop. Never. I've never done it, and I never will. Never. Yes, the premium is included in your cost basis. I'm not going to say it again. Black Swan investor sees the S&P 500 jumping another 12%, followed by the worst crash since 1929. Congratulations, Mark. You've been saying the same thing that we've been saying for 3 fucking years, because we know it's coming. It's going to keep melting up until something breaks. The Fed has already made way too many mistakes. Something will break. More things will break, and it will be unfixable. It will be massive, massive crash, the likes of which people have never seen, after which they will come over to this channel and others like it and say, oh my God, how the fuck did these guys know? How the fuck did this dumbass named Boss Blunts know that the market was going to crash? I just lost 68% of my 401k. I just lost 73% of my pension. How the fuck did Boss Blunts make 3,000% gains on fucking AMC and GameStop in 3 years? What the fuck? That's what people are going to say. And they're going to think because I'm wild and I swear a lot and I curse a lot and I like to be a fucking goofball, they're going to think that because my name is Boss Blunts that I'm a fucking moron, or that they're more intelligent than me, or whatever, right? A lot of people typecast others very much so, because it's hard to comprehend that other people can do things that you can't do. And that's a reality of the fact. It's just a fact of the matter, unfortunately. Minnie Devora, I want to say something about your comment, but I'm not so sure if I should. I won't say anything right now. Maybe in the future, if it comes to it, because I'm not sure exactly right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. I do want to say it, but I'm just not going to right now, Minnie. Nope, not going to say it. Maybe another time. Or another time, yep. Duty Call says, we lost today, bro. I could not disagree with you more, my friend. I could not disagree with you more. We are winning. I am super fucking pumped. And Aaron says, T+1 settles at 9 p.m. I don't know if that's a fact. I do not know if that's a fact. But the after-hour session is not over. The markets are not closed. The market is closed for everyday day trading, but it is not closed for the after-hours session. Not to mention, they could fail to deliver on it today and then have to deliver on it in the next 35 calendar days, hence the T+35 cycle. Now, if you weren't here at the beginning of the channel, at the beginning of this, go back and see where I explain the consolidation, the exercising of shares, and the gamma ramp from 10 to 17, from 17 to 26, from 26 to 47, from 26 to 67, and from 22 up to 80 and change. And right now we are in that same consolidation and gamma ramp section. Look at the way that things look here. Consolidating, boom. We are about to gamma ramp, in my opinion. That's exactly how I feel. Go back to like the first 15 to 20 minutes of this stream right now, as soon as it's over, maybe even the first 25 minutes, and watch that. And you will see me go over this step by step, exactly what the fuck happened today. I'm not going to do it again because I feel like a broken record. I don't want to do the same shit over and over again as more people come into this stream, because it's a very long stream, and I understand that. I'm actually going to try and clip it, and I'm going to do that. So you know what? I'm going to end the stream now. I'm going to clip that portion. I'm going to put it up. But for now, just rewind it and go see it, because if I get busy, I'm not going to have a chance to clip it. I want to say thank you to Anno Domini, Catherine, Christian, Free Like Summer, Captain Awesome, everybody in all the chats. Thank you for liking the stream. Drop a like. Fucking share it with somebody. Show them that there is more than just what you see on the screen. There is a pattern. There is a trend. There is an infinity gauntlet. This is something that has gone on for years and is not going to end tomorrow or next week or next month. We are going to fight this good fight until markets break, because they have committed so many decades and decades of wrongdoing and theft and illegal market manipulation and naked shorting and rehypothecations and shorts marked as long and tokenized securities and failures to deliver and married calls and puts and divorce calls and puts, and I can just keep fucking going, but I'm not gonna, because I'm fucking tired of repeating myself. Go watch the beginning of this video. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. If this shit goes crazy in the after hours, you'll see me back here. If this shit gets crazy in the after hours, you'll see me back here. But be ready, my friends. You know what? I'm going to play this one more fucking time, because apparently some people didn't get the memo. Here it is for you. Here it is for you. Be ready.
I want to be clear. I do not respect the SEC.
We made the decision in the morning to limit the buying of about 13 securities on our platform. So we're really in unprecedented times. In order to protect the firm, we had to limit buying.
That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities. Firms like Citadel. We're all running large teams of people that are engaged in fundamental research, trying to drive the value of companies towards where we think they should be valued.
Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. He's been charged by US courts and the SEC with money laundering, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and securities fraud for the collapse of FTX. The former chairman of NASDAQ, Bernie Madoff, built the largest Ponzi scheme in history. Over 4 decades, he faked records of annual gains to investors who thought he was investing their funds, when in fact, he was just using new investor capital to pay off older investors.
But the synthetic shorting and naked shorting, which is illegal, market maker can execute naked shorts insofar as they're facilitating a trade. The regulators are looking at that now as to whether or not there was this naked shorting by the market makers on behalf of the hedge funds in order to facilitate the shorts. And I think they're going to uncover that there were some issues there. But the penalty for naked shorting is really not significant enough to stop it. Citadel and Goldman and all of the players get fined constantly for doing this.
Hedge funds and other Wall Street firms have teams of analysts working together to compile research and analyze shares of companies. Individual investors do not have those resources.
I basically would like to ask the SEC why they didn't act on the morning of January 28th, because I was so scared. I can't tell you how scared I was. I was so scared. I can't tell you how scared I was.
Well, Thomas, what were you scared about? Just what does failure look like? You said we came close to breaking. What were you scared of?
I was scared of a domino bankruptcy. I tell you, the rules require the long brokers to go into the market and buy the shares at whatever price. So that drove the shares up to $480, and then suddenly it didn't go further, but it could have gone further.
So buying and selling those 200 shares would make the market maker $1. But as millions of shares are traded, the profits from the spread add up. In 2020, these brokerages collected almost $2.6 billion in payments for stock and option orders.
These brokers, including Interactive Brokers and Robinhood, that generate revenue from selling the order flow to market makers.
Business has always been done like this on Wall Street for over 100 years.
Our orders compete against each other to get the best prices. But if the order instead is routed to a wholesaler that has agreed to pay for it, The order is not going to an exchange and is not necessarily receiving the benefit of that broader competition.
As you mentioned about commission or zero commission does not mean it's free. It does have some cost inside. Some brokers have payment for order flow.
Disclosure alone, by enhancing the disclosure around payment for order flow, really will address it. United Kingdom, Canada, Australia all have banned payment for order flow. I know we have different markets, different systems. We even have letters that we've gotten over the years, dating back over the last 20 years, articulating why it's not good for our system. So I really ask staff to consider that, but also to consider it only in the context of the entire market structure.
On January 28th, our daily deposit requirement was 10 times more than on January 25th. As a result, Robinhood Securities imposed temporary trading restrictions on certain securities. Robinhood Securities put the restrictions in place in an effort to meet increased regulatory deposit requirements.
The decision to restrict trading really was internal to Robinhood. We did not have discussions about that.
Like Gamestop, AMC, all these meme stocks have brought naked short selling really to the forefront of the market's interest. This is something that's going on for a very long time in the small cap market and is very much a problem.
Has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information you've received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay, thank you.
Those are fully collateralized tokens.
That markets are efficient because of active managers setting the prices of securities.
The order is not going to an exchange and is not necessarily receiving the benefit of that broader competition.